Today I'm going to share with you what I wore for every job I've ever had. Okay, minus a few because honestly that would take all day. Plus, one key lesson that I learned from each job. My career has been a wild ride of food service, office jobs, modeling, leadership positions, and work from home roles, so I hope you enjoy the variety of outfits and my personal style. By the way, if you like this sort of content, let me know by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much in advance, and if you don't, well, I still hope you have a great day. Oh, the joys of food service. Yes, I know the table looks empty, but no, that still doesn't mean your party can be seated there. Oh, of course, I'd love to put in your order of fried rice with no eggs and no vegetables. Cool. My hostess, waitress, and barista days were clad in black on black, black on white, or no, that's it. And of course, working in a restaurant or cafe setting, you had to have black non-slip shoes. But I unfortunately do not own any shoes that I don't like, let alone disdain for their ability to truly ruin any outfit. Working in the food industry meant that I had to wear black slacks most of the time, and I paired them with this white collared top with some visual interest that complies with the food and drink handling code, as well as my own sanity. I want to talk specifically about my time as a Starbucks barista. I owe so much learning to that job, but I'll just share one helpful lesson, which was called sequencing. Sequencing is when you assess everything you need to do or to make, like say a venti caramel frappuccino decaf with soy milk and extra caramel, plus a reduced fat turkey bacon sandwich, plus a tall matcha soy latte with extra simple syrup and whole milk. You've got to balance all three recipes so that they all come out no more than 10-15 seconds one after another. I apply sequencing to my life to this day in order to get more done in the most seamless amount of time. A simple way to think about this is to envision that you have, say, 3 chores. Washing a load of laundry, which takes about 2 hours, cleaning your dishes in the dishwasher, which takes 4 hours, and steaming some broccoli, which takes 10 minutes. If you did each of these things one at a time, in total, your chores would take a whole 6 hours and 10 minutes to complete. Sequencing demands that you overlap as many timelines as possible, and then overlap as many physical steps or locations as possible. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at, but if you're sequencing, you're going to load the dishwasher first, and instead of waiting for 4 hours for that to complete, you overlap that with the other chores. Truly, you can apply this to any part of your life. What can be batched? What things can you complete and then pass on to a team member as early as possible so that you're not bottlenecking the process? When you are in one room of the house, what are the several chores you can quickly do together? The better you get at this, the more things you can squeeze in, absolutely, but more importantly, the more ease you have when flowing through your timelines, deadlines, and physical exertion. It was years after being a barista that I started bartending, but we're going to keep the black slacks, and so I'll just transition now. As a bartender, I relied so much on my tips, oftentimes amounting to more than 3 or 4 times my wages for the night, that I always tried to keep my clothing spicy and honestly just a little sexy with an interesting black top like this sheared button-up with a shirred front and flattering silhouette. Speaking of which, being a bartender taught me that confidence goes a long way. There were nights when I seriously could not recall what exactly went into a tequila sunrise or Long Island iced tea. Well, spoiler alert, everything goes into a Long Island iced tea. But I winged it with a wink and a nod, an easy smile, and just conversation to make the customer feel entertained and taken care of. This is actually the key to good bartending, if not being good at anything. You've got to know your stuff, don't get me wrong, but you can't forget why people are buying in the first place. Give them fun, ease, belonging, presence, and that's the difference between going home with a meager paycheck and having a blast while making $500 in tips at the same time. I don't think you're ready for my roller coaster career. So when I was in college, get this, I competed in beauty pageants for scholarships. Like, what breeds of vanity and nerdiness come together to do that? But hey, it was awesome to meet so many interesting people, like fellow Miss Asian America contestants who were formerly in the FBI, or seeing how the elites host their galas, and also having a platform to stand for the youth or against poverty or whatever generalized social ill I thought I knew everything about at 19 years old. As a model, you show up to casting calls in leggings and a cami. That way, the photographer can see your whole silhouette. For a photo shoot, essentially the same outfit works. Hot tip for all of you aspiring models, wear a button-up like a flannel so that you can get your hair and makeup done, and then you can change out of it without ruining the look. The lesson I learned from my time among fancy people is that they are weird. They spit out their wine. They eat cheese with ash inside. They pay thousands of dollars to attend events that make everybody feel important just because they have money, but they're essentially overworked and boozing out, and frankly, I don't know what else they had to look forward to. I learned during this time when I was finishing college that I could go to law school, and I could be fancy, and I could be the one with a souvenir picture with a beauty queen, or a raffle winner at a charity ball, or, on the other less wet side of the bar. And I simply learned that I did not want this. In my early 20s, I was so excited to dress up in some good old business garb and manage the general functions of an assembly warehouse where semiconductors, these bits and bobs, get soldered onto printed circuit boards, these little doodads that run the modern computing world. To this day, I still love office wear, especially drapey blouses and mini skirts. This is a job where I learned the importance of systems. As soon as your project extends beyond 1 or 2 people, and especially if you've got a team on payroll, you must implement systems that simplify repetitive tasks, keep organized finances, and ensure that the work does not stop even if there is turnover. I filed my first business taxes here, made my first international quotes and sales, and overall learned all the things about being a big kid. Working in the California State Capitol gave me license to hunt down every Banana Republic and Aritzia within 100 miles of Sacramento. A typical work outfit consisted of preppy clothes to the max with comfy heels for running up and down the halls to keep up with my boss, a state legislator. My worldview grew a million X during my time as a legislative aide because I interfaced with Californians from all strokes, and I learned about the struggles of farm workers in rural parts of California, inner city poverty, and food deserts. I also learned about the complex inequities in our education, health, and criminal legal systems. I learned not only that change is necessary, but that it's only accomplished when committed individuals take the time to understand problems and work together to create solutions, and then sustain the effort to formalize these changes in the law or influence these changes in our culture. I had a hand in changing multiple laws, and I learned that the work of, quote-unquote, making the world a better place is not easy, but I learned that I love it. So my next job gave me more autonomy because I left the government and instead I lobbied it from the outside. Working on civil rights issues allowed me to focus on aspects of the law that I cared about the most, from expanding healthcare to stopping unjust deportations to allowing for retrials or resentencing if there is evidence of racial bias. During this era, I got more experimental with my fashion and continued to enjoy playing dress up every day for work. A classic silhouette that I still love is a fitted top with wide leg pants. So this was some of the most fulfilling work of my life, because not only did I advocate for social change, but I got to know people who were directly impacted by broken systems and underserved communities. To be in the movement alongside formerly incarcerated people who defied all odds, and activists from all sectors, this made me feel connected in the deepest way possible to our shared humanity and responsibility to love one another. There are heroes among us sustaining the movement, and all it takes is to vote or volunteer your time or simply extend grace and kindness to a stranger. The more you practice being the change, the less time you will dedicate to doom scrolling and internet battles. One thing I failed to mention is that throughout all of these jobs, I was an avid listener of a life coaching podcast called The Life Coach School. This weekly programming changed my life, so when I saw that there was a job opening on their website, I jumped on it. Thus, I made a career leap to become the executive assistant to the CEO of the Life Coach School. And now I get to work with this tiny team making unimaginable transformations in the world through life coaching. This job is fully remote, so I have the privilege of dressing however I ding-dang like. Today, I feel like a cropped top with super wide-leg pants. I'm also in love with this trench coat, and if I don't look like a chic watermelon, I'm not doing this right. Right now, the biggest lesson from this stage of my career is the importance of managing your mind. I have the benefit of weekly coaching sessions from a world-class life coach, and also the privilege of coaching several clients of my own outside of work. If it's not life coaching, I am also surrounded by individuals who value mental health and practice self-awareness. If you haven't at least looked into podcasts like the Life Coach School or checked out books on habits, mindset, or philosophy, here is a big red sign for you to start right now. Managing your mind is the key to living fully and intentionally with the spirit of your life. It's the key to getting what you want. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed a taste of my wardrobe and some of my favorite takeaways from my professional life in my 20s. A lot of the clothing items are repeats from my last wardrobe video, which is the nature of having a capsule wardrobe. I hope I have enough takeaways from my career moving forward to make another video for you. I can only hope that my 30s will have as many colorful experiences with cool takeaways that I can film another video in 10 years. If you dig it, let me know by liking and subscribing to this channel. Thank you for the 500 subscribers. That's 1,000 eyeballs. Until next time, be well, be stylish, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye!